Hey Project Aviator, this is the first of our new series that we're doing for all of our mentees, thanks to our donors and our supporters, to be interviewing airline pilots and professional pilots to give you insight and information on their journey and how they got to where they are, and to impart any advice, as it's hard to get a hold of a ton of mentors at one time via text or phone call. So our mission with this is to be uploading these videos for you to have access to know about each and one of every one of our mentors. So today, the first one we're doing is MJ Michael Okada. I know MJ very, very well. We went to school together at UND, and he was one of the founders of Project Aviator, and we're so happy and lucky to have him here today. So MJ, tell us, I said what your name was obviously, but tell us a little bit about yourself and who are you professionally flying for?
Yeah, so my name's MJ Okada, currently 757, 767 first officer with United Airlines, and one of the co-founders of Project Aviator.
So MJ, what got you interested into aviation? Like, we're here at an aviation conference.
Yeah.
What got you here today and on your journey?
So I don't have necessarily a Klondike moment that got me interested. I think for me, growing up, traveling was always a passion of mine. I think being on this beautiful earth that we have, there's a lot of really cool places, and I want to be a part of that. And so being in the aviation industry was an avenue to allow me to experience and meet a lot of new people. So I think that's really what was the catalyst for my interest in aviation.
So once you kind of got your interest and started going, a lot of our mentees ask us, I have no idea how to get into flight training, flight school, you know, and you may not know every flight school in the country, but tell us about your experience of where you trained and what that was like, and some details on that.
Yeah, I feel like in this day and age, you can find a flight school just about anywhere in any corner of the country. For me, being from Minnesota originally, there's really a few options you have. You have the University of Mankato, and you have the University of North Dakota. And so for me, I chose the University of North Dakota, and then that's where I ended up building my time. So I instructed there, I did stage checks there, much like a lot of the other students up there. So that was my path towards getting my hours to qualify for the airlines.
So a follow-up question on that is, you know, some people, they want to do the ATP route because maybe they're in their 20s and 30s. You kind of, it seemed like, wanted to get a collegiate degree,
Yep.
but also fly.
Yep.
So that is a pathway as well. So did you decide when you were younger that you really wanted to be a pilot, and that's why you went to UND, or did you find that out later?
Most definitely. Where I was in my stage of life, I felt that going to a university was most conducive for me. ATPs are fantastic programs. They're accelerated. It can really help if you're on a timeline where you really want to crank things out and you have a few years that you can just dedicate straight to studying. ATP is also a fantastic option for you to build time.
Perfect.
And to get your ratings.
So once you left UND, what did your path look like to get to your dream mainline job?
Yeah, so I'm happy to say I absolutely love what I'm doing at United right now. In order to get there, I actually had to go to SkyWest first. I was based out of Minneapolis on the 175. I love the airplane. Shout out to Embraer, I still do. After that, I ended up going to JetBlue Airways. I got to fly the Airbus, which again was an amazing experience. I love the Airbus, a lot of the features that it has, the tray table, still miss it. And that's what led me here today for about 2.5 years now at United Airlines.
Perfect. So what are you flying now at United, and where do you see the next few years going for you?
Yeah, so currently with United, like I said earlier, I'm on the 757, 767. I've been doing that since I started, based out of Newark, and so the cool part about that is United has so many different opportunities. I've gotten to really see a lot of Europe. For me now, my next step is actually moving on to the 737, and I'm hoping to get a little bit more of that north-south flying. I want to do some Cancun, some Puerto Vallarta, some Liberia, Costa Rica. That's kind of what I'm most excited for, and then hopefully with one of our major domiciles moving to base so that I can drive to work.
So you mentioned that Newark, and because I know you, of course, you live in Austin. So this is something that wasn't a part of our pre-program questioning. So this is off the cuff to MJ. But
oh boy.
For some of the people at maybe the regionals that are even mentors for us, or what is a consideration for commuting? Because you have to go in the day prior. What does that look like for you? So if someone is thinking, oh, I may want to work at SkyWest, but they don't have a domicile where I live, I'll have to commute. What does commuting mean, and what does that look like for you?
Commuting is something I don't necessarily recommend to everybody. It was very conducive to my wife and I early on to start. I think commuting is for somebody who really wants a dream airline. They want to be somewhere for certain, but they also really enjoy where they live. right? There is a quality of life aspect, and some people have certain areas that they really want to be a part of that community, and that's worth the having to commute, right? Taking up that time. Considerations are going to be making sure that you're rested for your flights, understanding that you may not be able to pick up premium, understanding that you may need to get a few hotels or a crash pad, right? So those are definitely the pros and cons that you can weigh when deciding if you want to commute or not. And a lot of people really do love where they live and they're willing to commute. For me, I'm hoping to move to domicile so I can drive to work one day.
Right. Now, enough about, I guess, the airlines. Let's talk a little bit about Project Aviator, MJ. How did you become a part of Project Aviator, and what are you doing currently for Project Aviator?
Yep. So what really got me excited when presented with this opportunity to work with Hannah, Sean, and Jake was a lot of us, for the most part, we're all first-generation pilots. So when we would go to these conferences or these career fairs, we wouldn't have a mentor that we could run questions by, right? All these airlines are here and they really offer a lot of great encompassing packages. I just wasn't familiar with what questions I should be asking. When I was doing my first interview prep, I really didn't know who to talk to, right? So that's what got me really fired up and excited about this opportunity, is now we can put in a more informal way these professional pilots in front of aspiring aviators to ask questions that they might not feel comfortable asking somebody in a professional setting.
Right. So we just heard all the story about UND and you're getting into the passion and your journey. If you had to do it all over again, would you have any advice, or would you do anything differently, or what advice do you want to say to our mentors and mentees?
Yes. If I had one piece of advice, I would say never tell yourself no. The amount of people that I talk to that say things like, I don't have enough hours, I don't think I'm qualified, I know I won't get it. I don't think that's true at all. And it was even happened for myself. When I was applying to some of these airlines, I held off on it a little bit. And sure enough, as soon as I put my application in, I started getting phone calls back. And obviously there is timing considerations involved, but the big thing is always having your apps out, never telling yourself no. Let someone else tell you no, right? That's the big piece of advice I have. Keep applying, keep your applications updated. It will work out, especially if you just keep to it.
Right. Well, thank you, MJ. This is again, like I said, the first of our series of these videos that we're going to do with all different airline pilots, corporate pilots, cargo pilots. Once again, we're here at RTAG in 2025, which is exciting.
Thank you, Sean.
Thank you, RTAG, for the support of getting us this booth so we can be here, and thank you again, MJ.
Thank you, RTAG. We'll see you all here.